No animals were harmed in the making of this video. All footage was obtained from popular science shoots or generated by an AI.
Imagine the dense tropical rainforests of Australia. The year is 1926. Two teenagers are walking near their home in Queensland. Suddenly, a massive creature emerges from the thick bamboo groves. It has black, quill-like plumage, a deep blue neck, and a huge helmet on its head. The boys try to scare off the bird, but it executes a swift mid-air leap and kicks one of them directly in the chest. This was one of the first officially documented cases of a cassowary killing a human. Exactly 100 years have passed since then, yet people still fear creatures that went extinct 66 million years ago, completely failing to notice the monsters living right among us. In popular culture, we are used to being frightened by movie predators. We are told that the Velociraptor is the pinnacle of cold-blooded killing machines. But what if I told you that the famous movie monster loses to an ordinary bird from the Australian jungle? Today, we stage the Great Battle of Eras. In the left corner, the Cretaceous period's ultimate nightmare, the legendary Velociraptor. In the right, the modern master of the jungle, a bird officially entered into the Guinness Book of Records as the most dangerous on the planet, the Southern Cassowary. Today, we will analyze their biomechanics, compare real striking power, penetrate the secrets of evolution, and find out which one of them is the ultimate killing machine. And believe me, the final verdict will surprise you greatly. Let's start with the biggest expose in cinema history. Remember what a velociraptor looks like in movies? A human-sized, scaly monster with intelligent eyes, capable of opening doorknobs and hunting in clever packs? Forget that image. Hollywood has brutally deceived you. The real Velociraptor mongoliensis, whose remains paleontologists found in the Gobi Desert, was completely different. Its hip height barely reached 0.5 meters. Its body length, including its long, stiff tail, was about 2 meters, but the vast majority of this length belonged to the tail. And now for the most important part, its weight. A velociraptor weighed only 15 to 20 kilograms. That's the weight of a large turkey or a medium-sized dog, like a border collie. So where did this giant movie image come from? It's simple. When the script for Jurassic Park was being written, the filmmakers drew inspiration from a completely different dinosaur, Deinonychus. It really was huge, around 1.5 meters tall and weighing up to 100 kilograms. But the directors preferred the catchy name Velociraptor, which translates as quick robber, and they simply gifted the smaller raptor the physique of its larger relative. But that's not all. In movies, raptors are covered in scales, like lizards. However, modern scientific discoveries have proven something entirely different. Feather quill knobs, exactly like those of modern birds, were found on the fossilized ulna bones of velociraptors. This means the velociraptor was completely covered in feathers. It looked less like a cold-blooded dragon and more like a highly aggressive, toothed terrestrial eagle on long legs. As for intelligence, raptors indeed possessed relatively large brains compared to body mass when compared to other dinosaurs. They had excellent binocular vision and developed hearing. But turning them into geniuses capable of solving logical problems is pure artistic exaggeration. Before us was a fast, terrifying, yet still quite primitive small predator. The cassowary, living heritage of theropods. Now, let's transport ourselves from the ancient Gobi to the misty, humid forests of Queensland and New Guinea. Meet the Southern Cassowary. If you look at a cassowary, you will understand one simple thing. Birds are not just descendants of dinosaurs. From the standpoint of modern biology, birds are the only surviving order of theropod dinosaurs, and the cassowary has preserved these ancient genes within itself in their most primal form. Let's compare its dimensions with our previous hero.
The height of an adult cassowary is up to 1 meter 80 centimeters, and weight? A cassowary easily reaches 60, and individual females even up to 80 kilograms. Remember the Velociraptor's weight of 20 kilograms? The cassowary is at least 3 to 4 times heavier. It is a whole mountain of dense, trained muscle.
Look at its head. It is adorned with a so-called helmet or casque, a horny crest made of spongy material covered in keratin. Scientists debated for decades why the bird needed this element. 3 main hypotheses were proposed. First, it is a radiator for cooling the brain in hot climates. Second, protection for the head when the bird crashes through thick jungle growth at full speed. And third, the most interesting hypothesis, this helmet functions as an acoustic resonator for capturing and reproducing incredibly low sounds. Its body is covered with dense, stiff, quill-like feathers that resemble hair or needles more than feathers. They protect the bird from thorns and deep cuts. And legs? The cassowary's legs are covered in massive scales and possess such power that they make anyone who sees them up close tremble.
Arsenal and biomechanics. Now let's move on to the most interesting part, analyzing the main weapons of both sides. Which of them possesses a more lethal arsenal? Let's start with the Velociraptor. Its calling card is the sickle-shaped claw on the second toe of the hind foot. The length of this claw was about 7 to 9 centimeters along the outer arc. For a long time, it was believed that the raptor used it like a scalpel, jumping on its prey and ripping its stomach open in a single motion. However, biomechanical research from the 2000s completely refuted this theory. Paleontologists conducted experiments with precise robotic models of raptor legs and discovered this claw was round in cross-section and lacked a sharp cutting edge. It could not cut skin like a knife.
Why then was it needed? The claw functioned as a powerful fishing hook. The Velociraptor would jump on its victim, dig this claw into it to hold it down with its weight, while using its hands and toothed jaws to inflict bites. This is the tactic of modern birds of prey, like eagles or falcons, which pin their quarry to the ground. Now let's look at the cassowary. On the middle toe of each foot, it has a straight, razor-sharp, dagger-like claw up to 12 centimeters long. It is longer, more massive, and significantly sharper than the Velociraptor's claw. But main thing is the strike biomechanics. The cassowary is capable of accelerating up to 50 kilometers per hour through dense growth and jumping 1.5 meters high. When the cassowary strikes, it kicks with both legs simultaneously forward, putting all the kinetic energy of its 60-kilogram body into this strike. The force of such a strike is such that this 12-centimeter dagger easily pierces dense plywood, slices through human muscle, and is capable of shattering bones in fractions of a second. Unlike the raptor, which needed to pin down its victim, for the cassowary, just one precise single kick is enough to inflict a mortal wound.
Tactics, behavior, and infrasound. How did these creatures behave in real combat, and how did they interact with the world around them? Let's start with the pack myth. Cinema taught us that velociraptors are a wolf pack of dinosaurs, working according to complex tactical schemes. But what does science say? Fossils are indeed sometimes found near each other, but most paleontologists tend to believe that raptors were solitary or fought over prey like modern Komodo dragons. They could congregate at the smell of blood, but didn't know how to coordinate their attacks together. The cassowary, however, is an absolute, uncompromising sociopath. They do not live in groups. Adult birds meet only for the mating period, and all the rest of the time they brutally guard their territories. The cassowary hates strangers. It knows every centimeter of its jungle plot perfectly and masterfully uses the element of surprise. And the cassowary has yet another secret weapon that few people know about. That is infrasound. Listen to this sound. This is not low-frequency rumble from a Hollywood blockbuster. This is the real voice of a cassowary.
They emit the lowest sound frequencies among all birds on Earth, about 23 hertz, which is right on the edge of human hearing. This rumble is so deep that it is not just heard, it is felt with the whole body, causing a subconscious feeling of panic in humans and other animals. Scientists believe that this is exactly how, with low infrasound humming, many large theropods communicated with each other millions of years ago. To modern humans, the cassowary is lethally dangerous. Hundreds of cases are known where these birds attacked tourists and local residents who violated their borders or tried to feed them. A fast advancing charge, a jump, and the person ends up on the ground with catastrophic injuries.
Battle simulation and final verdict.
So, we have come to the most important part. What would happen if these two creatures met face to face in real combat on the territory of a dense tropical jungle? Let's simulate this encounter. On one side, a Velociraptor. Length with tail 2 meters. Weight 20 kilograms. It is fast, it has a mouth with sharp teeth and sharp claws. On the other side, a cassowary. Height under 2 meters. Weight 60 kilograms. 12-centimeter daggers on its legs, and protection in the form of dense feathers and a horny helmet. The difference in weight category here is simply catastrophic. In the world of wildlife, physics is merciless. A difference in weight of 3 times overrides most minor advantages.
If a velociraptor tried to attack a cassowary, a terrible surprise would await it. An attempt to jump and latch onto the bird would crash into a mass of dense, springy feathers, resembling a bulletproof vest. At the same time, the cassowary wouldn't even need to use its teeth, because it doesn't have any. For it, just one counter direct strike with its powerful leg is enough. The kinetic energy of 60 kilograms multiplied by the speed of the jump would simply knock the 20-kilogram raptor out of the air, breaking its ribcage or inflicting a deep penetrating wound. Even if a pair of velociraptors stood against one cassowary, the bird would possess a huge advantage due to its height, strike distance, and ferocious nature. What final conclusion can we make? Movies turned the velociraptor into an invincible monster, but real evolution created a much more perfect and dangerous machine right under our noses. The cassowary is direct proof that dinosaurs went nowhere. They simply swapped scales for feathers, learned to emit infrasound, and brought their lethal skills to absolute perfection. What do you think? Did a real velociraptor have even one chance against an Australian cassowary? Be sure to write your opinion in the comments. I will read them with pleasure and reply. Like this video if you learned something new today, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future nature battles. Until next time.